Welcome to the Matt Beck Podcast. Woke up this way. He's got a lot of cool stuff he's gonna show you today. The latest news, industry topics, and business tips. For all hairstylists and salon owners, it's time to flip the script. Grab your precision scissors, barber combs, and swivel twist razors. Let's cut a bob, a quick shag, pixie cut with a little bit of flavor. Check out the live classes, product reviews, let's rock on. Don't forget to check out freesaloneducation.com. I woke up this way. It's gonna be a great day. Chop it, clip it, spray it, flip it. I woke up this way.
What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome to the show. Today, we're going to have a lot of fun. I got a color technique for you guys. Then, obviously, we'll do some Q&A. We'll talk about whatever you guys want after that. Super excited. Lynn's got the chat working today. I can see her already. So, what's up, guys? What's up, Lynn? What's up? Kristen's in the house. We got Jess Mac here. Jess McCaw. Yeah, I see all of you guys. And Lynn has to leave soon. She's got a client. Hey, we got to make them dollars. Got to make that money, right, Lynn? So totally okay. You can always watch the replay. No, you guys. So we got a couple things in the chat. If you're new, type new so that we know if you're new. If it's your first time watching the show, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And then also, if you have a question, type Q and then put your question. So Q, then the question, and then I'll see it easily in the chat, and I can find it, and I can post it and answer it for you guys like that. The other thing I want you guys to do is quickly write down this phone number, 215-608-2612, 215-608-2612. That is my cell phone number. Text me, say hi. As soon as you do that, then I can alert you. I'll have your information. And anytime I'm going live, anytime I'm doing anything class-wise, or if I just want to say hi to you guys, I'll have your information that way, and then everybody gets it. So many OGs today. That's right. That's right. Loving that. Loving that. So, again, what's up, Glennis? He's here, too. So cool to see all of you guys in there. Very, very cool. All right, so all you guys have to do for me is just share the show. Just hit the share button. Let's try to get those numbers up. Yesterday was a weird day for numbers. So if we're talking social media and all that stuff, so this is what happened. For the first time ever, Free Salon Education's Facebook got more views than my Facebook, which doesn't normally happen. And I think it's because I had Chris Barron on yesterday. It was a surprise show for you guys. And he's not me. So on Free Salon Education, obviously he got more views. And then on my Facebook, they were probably like, who is this person on Matt's Facebook? So today, let's see if we can jam up those numbers again. Let's get it up there. So just hit that share button for me. I would really, really, really appreciate it. You guys totally... Kathy, what's up? Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Chanel's here. Cool. All right. Sorry. That was like squirrel. I just watched the chat again. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm live with all of you guys. So today we're going to do block color and balayage in one technique on a bob. So I want to share with you guys. I think this is a really fun technique. And I think a lot of people have issues coloring a bob haircut because it's so short in the back. So it's like, what do you do with it? So I'm going to go over that today. So it's going to be super fun. Harmony, welcome to the show. Sharon, thank you for sharing so much. If you guys share, hit share. You know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to do something extra special. If you guys share the show, just hit share or say share in the comments. And anybody, I'll go through the list. And at the end of the show, I'm going to pick somebody. I'm going to give something away. I don't even know what it is yet. I'll think about it. But let's do some giveaways. You guys deserve it. You guys are awesome. And so hit share the show. Then tell me when you share it. And then you'll be entered in to win. And I'll pick one of you guys at the end. I don't even know how I'm going to pick you. I'll just pick you. And I'll give away something cool. I got tons of stuff behind me that I can give away. I got some stuff. So, all right, cool. Good job, guys. Appreciate that. All right. That's right. I see it. I missed yesterday too. So no worries if you guys missed yesterday. You can watch the replay. It was an awesome, awesome class. I had Chris Barron, the Global Artistic Director of Redken here. He shared one of his personal haircuts, which was avant-garde to my audience for sure. You guys are used to seeing more salon-friendly looks, but I loved the way that we twisted the whole thing, and we talked about it afterwards. We did a Q&A live. So he cuts a mullet, which is one of my favorite haircuts just because it's so out there. And when you look at a mullet right away, it's not super appealing to the eye, but then, if you do it the right way, it just has this cool edge to it. So really liked it. I love the cut that he did, and I took a lot from it. So I'm sure you guys did as well. And then we did a Q&A, and we were on for like an hour and 15 minutes. So tons of good information. So if you didn't see yesterday's show, make sure that you catch up with it and check it out. All right, let's see. Thank you guys for sharing. You guys are the best. All right, I'm going to get into the education so that the people that are coming here have something to watch when they get here and they don't just see me talking it up. All right, so like I said, we're going to be doing a balayage and block color technique. You guys have kind of been asking for both. So what I want to do is mix those two together and share with you how I mix match those techniques. So here is the video. Let's get started. I'm going to do a live voiceover today. So sectioning, pretty simple. We're going to take this as a bob with a left-hand side parting. So I'll start off with that, and I'm going to draw a triangle. And I say draw, when I say draw, I mean part. So I take that, I create a triangle off of that parting, and that's going to be my first section. So what block coloring is to me, and what I think it is in general, is taking blocks and sections, shapes, and going through and sectioning the hair that way to create a certain type of fall, right? So triangles are going to create a nice soft diffused fall. Horizontal blocks are going to create a different look. Vertical blocks are going to create a different look. So it just depends on what you're looking for, and I'll go over all those different things throughout this class. So now I created that triangle off of the parting over to parietal ridge and then up to the crown, about the middle of the crown. And then another triangle, sliver section, pie shape, if you want to say that, from the temple area up to that point as well. So we're creating 3 triangles basically at this point, 2 small triangles and 1 bigger one, and they're all meeting in the back crown area, if that helps you guys. Then what the last section I take in this color technique is a triangle out of the back. So you can see that's where the hair and the bob gets kind of, I guess you would say, shorter, right? So that triangle is where it's going to veil over. So I'll mess with that a little bit later. So you can see the shape of the haircut. It's a really cool haircut. And then you've got how we're sectioning it out to get started. Now, if you guys could, if you guys have a question, make sure you hit Q and then type your question. So type Q and then question so I can easily see it over on the side. So the color that I chose was a 6N for the base, and then I did an 8A 30 volume for my middle tone, and then I have Sunlight's Balayage lightener. It's a clay-based lightener that I use with 40 volume that I'm going to do with my balayage. So I'm going to take the 6N, and that's going to be all the depth within the inside of this cut. So you can see I start painting that around the perimeter, and then I work my way into the hair. So working those diagonal forward sections, just painting everything through, scalp to ends. The 6N 20, I think I did 20 volume, maybe I did 10. But as I'm going through it, I'm not looking for any lift. I'm just looking to tone her level 6 that she has now. So you could, if you really love this color, like her base color as is, you wouldn't have to put this tone in. You could just section it off and start working on those triangles. For me, I like to create an overall tone, if that makes sense. So like what I'll do is, even if I'm still working with the level 6, I'll paint a level 6 at the tone that I want. So we're going to keep this neutral today, but if you wanted it gold, if you wanted it red, whatever you want to do, just keep it at that level 6. So I paint all the way through to the temple, everything back. And then also, this is a great technique for people with gray hair, right? So somebody that needs overall saturation on their hair to get that gray blend, you could do the level 6 as their base, paint that all the way through it, use the level 8 at the end of the hair, mid shaft to ends, but keep that level 6 at their base the whole time to get that gray coverage. So Lynn, question. The color you're applying is a tone. It's a tone. I'm saying tone because it's a color, right? So it's a 6N. It's a permanent hair color. So this is great for gray blending. It's great for gray blending, lift, all that stuff. So yes, it's a tone, but it's not a toner, if that makes sense. Sweet. I accidentally clicked that, but it's like, all right, okay, cool. So Caitlin, what brand of clay lightener do you prefer? I use, I'm guessing Wella and Redken, and they don't harden and they're very messy. My favorite two are the Free Play from Joico, and I like Paul Mitchell's Skylight. So that's the two that I use in the salon. Free Play I really love a lot. I get a lot of lift from it. Skylight, I love the consistency of it as well. They're very similar to me, not too much difference. So now, real quick, I want to pause it. This, you can see I put the foil on. I just put that around the perimeter to separate, right? So this is part of that block coloring. So you've got that 6N, and now I put foil all the way around the head, and now we're going to continue on, and we're going to do some block coloring in these triangles, so you'll see as I work through it. So now I'm going to switch my levels. So I go from using the 6N all the way through the base to now rotating tones and levels throughout the top. So we're going to paint that through. And so right here, I paint that 6N. So this is why I say it's a great gray blending technique, because that 6N goes on the base. And then I go through, and now I'm going to skylight from that root area down the hair shaft, right? So now I'm starting to add those highlights in, but still coloring the base in the haircut. So we could get a great gray coverage, but at the same time, giving highlights throughout it. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions from you guys. All right, cool. All right, Chanel. So would the 6N and 8A be for virgin application to brighten the ends? So the 6N is not to brighten anything because she's already at a level 6. So that's why I can keep it at like 10 or 20 volume, depending on her base, or if she has gray or whatever. And then the 8A is to brighten. So I'm doing 30 volume to get her a couple levels lift. And then the A, the blue base of the color, is going to help neutralize that orange warmth that's going to come through, because I'm trying to keep this a little bit neutral, more of a sandy tone as it lifts. So just understand that, like, it's a virgin application here, but this is really on processed hair. So you'll see an outcome of what it would look like on processed hair. There's nothing natural about this mannequin. But if it was my client in the salon and they already had kind of level 6 throughout, but their ends weren't fully colored, then I would go with the 8A. If their ends were fully colored, then I would go through, probably do more of my balayage technique first, and then do the double process of putting the base and painting through 2 different tones through the ends. So it just kind of depends on what you're going for in the outcome. So same thing here, working through, got that clay base lightener. I'd switched to saran wrap. I didn't really mention that yet. I like to use the saran wrap because it keeps the hair incubated. If I don't have to use it, I will. I'll try not to, because I like working quick through the salon. So if I don't need a lot of lift, then I won't use it. But obviously in this case, I want to try to get as much lift as possible in this mannequin. And then also in the salon, if somebody wants brighter highlights, I'll use that as well. So you paint that base on, and then I work kind of like a V shape with the highlight throughout the sides and the top. Now, we're taking diagonal forward partings. The reason I did diagonal forward is because this is a diagonal forward type haircut. It's a triangular haircut. It gets longer in the front. So what I want to do is kind of create that with the color as well, so that that hair color is going to flow towards the front to match. So just painting that lightener on, working it through, and then obviously I'll put the saran wrap under it. What color did you put on the back triangle? So great question. Let me move that up a little bit. What color did you put on the back triangle? After you covered the 6N, you start the balayage on the side triangles. So what I did was I worked through the back, 6N on the base, and then I did 8A throughout that triangle. Let me see. I'll go over that a little bit more in a little bit after we get through the top. Then I can kind of explain it a little bit better. All right. Just don't tell her she's not natural. That's funny. Do you go back to tone the lighten pieces? Yes. So we're going to do a toning technique after this. So anytime I pre-lighten or lighten hair, it's obviously just to get us there. And then I'm going to go in later after it lifts and create a tone on it. So a lot of people don't take that extra step and they'll just highlight. And sometimes it works out okay. And then other times it needs that thing to kind of marry it all together. So we will do that at the end. All right. So again, painting that lightener through. The 8A is what kind of went more into the back of the head. So what I was trying to do is just pop that triangle piece in the back. So you paint that base with the 6N, and then you paint the 8A throughout the mid shaft and ends to brighten it up, but you don't have stripy highlights in that short hair. And that was kind of the key, is that crown's where the sun's gonna hit, right? On somebody's head naturally. So what I like to do is just paint that lighter color just to pop a little bit of brightness where the sun would hit, but not create stripes in short hair. Are you worried about warmth created where the lightener meets the color? I don't get worried about that because I can always control that, but I also I try to make sure that I don't touch it too much, like that I don't overlap it too much. And it always tends to work out well. Kristen, have you ever tried doing this? Like, do you do it often? Let me know in the chat because I'd like your opinion on it. This is one thing I will tell you guys is that I color to cut hair, right? So I love cutting hair. I love creating color techniques, but I'm not like a color expert. I have fun and I get creative with it, and then I can't wait to cut it after. So I like sharing these techniques with you guys, but if you guys have anything that you love doing, we're a community here. I'd love to hear it in the chat. 8A is like 8 ash. I'm not sure if Australian and American color systems are the same. Yes. So 8A, it's a blue-based ash. So at a level 8, my goal is to kind of neutralize that blue, but leave a little bit of the warmth. So when I think about color, it's this. So at a level 7, you've got pretty much straight up orange dominant pigment that comes through. At a level 8, you've got kind of that yellow orange. So what I want to do is I don't mind it being rich and golden, but what I want to do is take out that orange undertone, right? So I don't want it to be orange and brassy. I want it to have that golden richness to it. So a lot of times we try to neutralize every bit of warmth, and then we get a muddy kind of muted looking hair color, when sometimes it's okay to leave some of that warmth, but just tone it down a little bit. So don't neutralize everything as you go through it. All right, let's see. So Chris is saying, sometimes I find with permanent color, I can get warm spots. So I usually do it more when using demi. That's totally, yeah, I think it's a personal preference thing. I've never had a problem when I use Joico or Paul Mitchell color with kind of melting that a little bit. But again, like I said, I try not to touch it too much on there. And I try to get a really nice blend on it. So I'll really work that lightener into it when I'm working in the salon. All right. So Carmela, you might be coming in a little bit late. So we did 6N on the roots for sure. And then as I worked through the back triangle, which was in the crown area, I went 6N on the base, 8A through the ends. And then throughout the top portion, I did the 6N on the base and Sunlight's balayage lightener throughout the rest, throughout the ends that way. So now what I'm gonna do is blow it dry real quick, and then I'm gonna put my toner on. My toner choice is going to be around a level 9 with a dash of 7A, because I wanted to just neutralize this a little bit more with that blue base. You can see some of the pops of yellow gold coming through, but then you can also see a little bit of that orangey tone that happens in hair color. So I go in and let me see if I can remove that. Let me pull that formula back up for you guys right here. Oh, so 1 ounce 9N, half ounce 7A with demi color. In this case, I'm using Paul Mitchell demi color for this technique, 5 volume or processing liquid, whatever you want to say. And then, and I work that through scalp to ends just to give myself an overall matched tone, right? So this is what I talk about. We lift hair and get it to a certain point, certain level, and then we can bring it back a little bit. So I probably lifted her to, let's say, an 8-9, probably more 9-ish in some places of the highlight. So I'm shooting for kind of a level 8.5, 8, just so I neutralize that highlight down to where we were with the rest of the hair color, if that makes sense. Yeah, Jess, for sure. You know, if you post color questions, this is a great day to do this, to really just talk about it, break it down. You don't have to just talk about this technique. Post questions. Let me know what you guys want to know, and we'll go through Q&A as soon as this technique is over. All right. Are you processing for 30 minutes? Sharon, yes. So I process for about 30 minutes on the highlight, and then for the demi color, I process for 20 minutes. So I blew it dry and did it on dry hair, colored over it, and then processed for about 20 minutes. Let's see. So top is a 6, mid level 8, and the ends are the light color. So it's a little bit of a mixture. And I want to get this before we end. So the top, the base is a 6. So we did 6 all over the head, right? Then the back triangle that we sectioned out, which you guys can play back and watch how we sectioned the back. Or I can even scroll back and show you guys sectioning again. But the triangle in the back, we did the base or the root at a 6N, and then the end, the mid shaft to ends, we did 8A. So the 8A, the 8 ash, blue base, we did that through mid shaft to ends. And then when we moved to the front, we did 6N base root. And then when we painted through the balayage lightener with 40 volume to pop a highlight mid shaft to ends. So we base rooted it with a 6N, and then throughout mid shaft and ends, we did 40 volume balayage lightener. So you guys can see the movement that happens, that depth that happens through the underneath, and then you can see just all the movement that happens throughout it and how the tones all come together. I know it's not an extreme technique, and obviously this is, I build my channel on Salon reality hair. So, but you could see the softness of it, the richness of it, how we've neutralized it. And this is where you'll really start to see how those tones kind of just softly fall over, but the back right here. So in the back, let me see if I can fast forward. So right here, as you start to see it, look where in the back, how that it's just a little bit brighter. And then you have that depth underneath. That's that 8A lifting and neutralizing. And then that deeper part coming through the bottom of that 6N. And then it just softly gets brighter towards the face, which is those diagonal forward sections that goes through and brightens it up. Does that make sense? All right. So where are we at here? Let me see if you guys have any other questions. Let me know. Looks sun-kissed. Nice. Yeah. That's exactly what it's all about, right? Just enhancing somebody's hair color, not totally transforming it. It's something that you can add an upgrade to somebody very easily. So somebody that comes in the salon, they only get a 6N touch-up, and they get that consistently all the time. One of the best ways to keep clients in the salon is to make sure that you're always changing things up. So take that 6N and be like, you know what? I want to try this technique today. Just do the 6N on the base, then add that 8A. It's something awesome to move them from, now we're moving them from horrible to anything at this point, but we're moving them from winter, spring, and then into summer, right? We're skipping spring, but going right into summer to brighten them up. It just works really, really well. Adrian, totally, yeah, very wearable. How do you highlight bangs? Do you want to see a video on that? I have one. I can share with you guys. I'll do that, Avery, actually. I think I can easily pull that up for you. Let me see if I can find it. And then I could share with you guys a video on how to highlight bangs. And then it's easier to do that than explain it right now. Let's see. I think I have it. If I can't find it right away. Maybe I can't find it right away. Oh yeah, I can. It's right here. All right. I'm gonna pull this up so I can share. All right, guys. So to start off this. All right. I'll talk in a second, but I'll show you guys this really quick. This is literally like a short video, but it's a great education on bangs. Get in the chat. Get involved. I'm gonna go away on this because I talk in the video, and then after that, I'll answer all of your questions about that. But Avery, I just feel like this is the easiest way for me to showcase this to you. So here is how do you highlight bangs? Here it is. All right, guys, so to start off this technique, what I'm going to do is take a nice soft diagonal forward parting, and then I'm going to weave through that. So what the weave does is it breaks it up, makes it a little softer. If I wanted a little bit more of a pop in the fringe, then I would go in with a slice. Or I would do kind of crisscross, and I would do a slice, then a weave. It's really, you have a lot of freedom with this stuff. So don't take this just as literal as it is. And then what I do is I go in with my Paul Mitchell Synchro Lift lightener. It's a powder lightener. I'm using 20 volume, and I'm going to pack it into a foil. So I fold that foil up. I make sure I got heavy saturation on the section. I really make sure that I get the bottom of the section as well. And then I go through, I take another slice, and then I go through with a fine weave throughout it. So this is a pretty simple technique. Now, the reason I'm calling this highlighting the fringe, and what I'm really trying to create in this, is a nice soft effect with the way that it falls. Sometimes if you just put foils throughout the top of the head and you do slices or you do horizontal, what happens is you get very stripy look to it. So what I'm trying to create is a really soft effect when it falls. So you guys will see that in the end. So I go through just like I cut the hair. So when I cut the fringe, I did the same diagonal partings, brought everything over to the opposite side, and then I get a nice soft fall effect. So to me, because I'm a hair cutter, color transfers very much to me in the same way that hair cutting does. So the weight distribution, how hair moves. So I'm doing the same thing in this technique. So again, heavy saturation, going about, let's say 1/8 of an inch from the scalp, maybe 1/4 of an inch from the scalp, at times, and I just paint that all the way through, even saturation all the way to the ends. And you'll notice I go vertical with the brush, but then I go horizontal back and forth. That just helps move the hair around a little bit. I also like my lightener to be a little bit wetter, I guess you could say. I don't know what word to use, but I like it to be a little bit more, so as I'm painting it on, I get better saturation on the hair. The drier the lightener, for me, it just doesn't spread as well. So that's another little tip for you guys on that. So I'm just going to continue working my way through. Now, we're just working on the fringe. So what I would do is I'm going to take this all the way over to the corner of the eyebrow, the edge of the eyebrow, and that's where I'm going to stop this sectioning, because anything from that point on becomes a little more stripy because of the head shape and how it moves. So what I would do is then go up horizontal from that point, from the temple up to the top. We're not going to do that today because I just wanted to show you the fringe highlight. But in the salon, if I wanted to add more highlights, or I could even go in and just start doing some balayage on the rest of the hair, there's so many options, guys, in hair color. So don't feel like that's why I like just showing this one little tip, because I don't want you to think this is the only way to do it. I have to do it this way, or it's not going to turn out the way I want. Know that there's many options to go in and do it. So again, fine foil. Notice I'm at the edge of the eyebrow. This is about the point where I'm going to stop after this foil. And then I'll go through and I can do something else. But in the end of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys the end result. I'm also going to use a new color from Paul Mitchell to tone with it. It's a violet gold, which I'm really excited to share with you guys that. But the reason I only wanted to color the bang, not just for this small technique, but I also want you guys to be able to really visually see how this placement falls. And if I go through and do the whole thing, then you're going to see multiple different placements and how they fall, and you won't really get a specific look at it. So maybe I can show you guys the side. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments. I can show you how to do the side beyond this as well in a different video. So we get to the edge of the eyebrow. This is going to be my last section. And then we'll go into the toning. So the processing time on this, I don't want you guys to stress about that either. You got to watch it. Anytime you're working with lightener, make sure there's no processing time. So you want to watch it, get it to the level that you're looking to work with. Again, and we're also going to work a little weave into the side section as well. Just to the edge of the eyebrow though, not any further. But back to the processing. So processing is really just up to you. You want to get it to a level where you can then deposit, right? So I think a lot of times we think of just, I want to get it to this pale yellow so that I can create this beautiful blonde with no brassiness. Well, if your tone isn't that, if you're not trying to get it to a platinum, then you don't need to lift them that far. So underlying tones are not a bad thing. So as I'm lifting her, I'm thinking, well, what do I want to do? In my end result, I'm trying to create a violet gold. So I don't really mind having a little bit more gold in it, but I just need to know that if I get extra gold when lifting her, that's going to also deposit into the tone that I'm creating with the violet gold. So I might have a little extra violet into it. So just know that you don't always have to overprocess. You don't have to lift super high as long as your end result mimics the level that you get to. So I'll finish painting this section through, and then I'm going to fold that up into a foil, and we're going to let that process. For this video's sake, I did let it process for about 25 minutes, and it was good to go. And then we took her back to get her shampooed. So there's our foil. We fold that up, get it out of the guest's face, and then you can see how that placement works through there. Now I'm going in with Paul Mitchell XG 9VG, which is a violet gold. I love this toner. It creates a really nice, soft, sandy look to the hair. We paint that on her wet hair, and you can see the placement when she pulls it back. So if she goes to pull her hair back, it's not going to be stripy. And you can see how soft it is and how nice it moves across. So hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. All right. So what'd you think of that? Let's get some good vibes music going. I see some questions, so I'm going to go through and answer those for sure. Let me see. Tiffany's got a question. So, do you use these partings? Do you always use these partings for a fringe? I don't always. So, always is like super strong word. I would definitely say that it's a good technique for this result. If you wanted something a little softer, because it does have a little bit of a bold brightness to it, you know, I would change it up a little bit. I might even go opposite direction of how they're going to wear it. So if I wanted it to be a little bit softer, if she parts her hair here, then I would go backwards towards the parting and work my foil work that way. That way it falls a little more horizontal. In this case, it fell a little more vertical because I went with the parting, if that makes sense, or away from it. Violet gold is an interesting choice. Totally. I was so like, when that tone came out, it made sense to me. But if you think about it, and this is where I want your guys' heads to go a little bit. When we were talking earlier, we were saying like, sometimes you need those golds in there. And a lot of people try to neutralize everything and it becomes muddy. The violet gold helps neutralize a little bit of the tone, but still leave that richness to it so it looks more natural. Let's see. What do we got? Watching from Toronto. Thanks. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate that. Kristen, thank you so much. Patricia, thank you. Alana, thank you very much. Tiffany, thank you. Awesome, guys. You guys are the best. All right. Glennis, what's up? So beautiful and soft. Thank you so much. All right, cool. You guys are the best. And you guys are the best because our numbers are blowing out of the water. I don't even know. Blowing out of the water. Tons of people on here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and learning some hair. If you guys have questions, type Q, then put your question, Q, then your question. We're going to do a little bit of Q&A before I jump off here. We've been on for only 34 minutes, so we got time, guys. So let me know, what questions do you have? What do you want to learn? If there's a technique that I can easily pop up on here, I'll do that as well. It's a free-form show now. What I like to do is Monday through Friday, we do this show live, 12 o'clock every single day. What I like to do is have a subject of it, and that gets us started so that people can search it and easily watch what they want to see at the beginning. And then it's up to you guys to kind of make up the show as we go. So if there's something that you guys want to request, maybe put R in the chat and then put your request. If you have a question, put Q and then your question. If you're new and this is your first time checking out the show, type new so everybody in the chat can say hi to you, because that's how we roll here on this show. Let's see. All right. Can we do a men's cut? I'm going to do a men's cut tomorrow. I've already got it planned out. I'm going to do a fresh cut for you guys, obviously on a mannequin because I can't touch real humans at this point. But I planned on doing some men's cutting because we haven't really gotten into that much. So I wanted to do that for sure. Peggy's saying the old shag haircut. I've been doing a lot of them. I do have some shag cuts. We've showed them on the show before. A lot of them. I've showed a lot of them. So I'll see where we're at with requests, but that's a good request, but I feel like I need to do a fresh video because I have shared pretty much all of them that I have, and I don't want to repeat on you guys, especially for the OGs in the chat. Let's see. All right, Jess, I want to learn about color. As color theory, blending colors, etc. Ask questions about it. So what do you want to know? We can talk color theory a little bit. I do know color theory. There's this thing that we use. I don't know how I could show it to you, but just ask a color theory question. I'll be happy to answer it for sure, Jess. All right. What volume did you use with the 8A? 30 volume. So we use 30 volume to try to get at least 2 levels of lift. I always try to play it safe. So I always look at the developer as the driver, right? That takes you to a place, and then the color is what kind of makes everything happen when we get there, right? So I look at 30 volume and I try to play it safe. Like if she's a level 6 and I want to get her to an 8, I go 30 volume just because if I go a little bit past it, it's okay because I've got the 8A to bring me back to where I was. That's how my mind thinks. It might not even be right, but it's worked for me for 16 years. I haven't had any problems really. So I always think about that. If I want to go 2 levels, I'll go 30 volume. If I want to, even though they say 30 volume, we'll do 3. I play it safer than that to make sure I get where I want to go. Let's see. How do you cut curly hair? If they wear it curly, do you cut it wet or dry? Epiphany child. So both. If this is kind of your first time experiencing any of my classes or anything, when I cut hair, I do both. I do both all the time. Even if it's wet or curly, I decide the best option. And I'll probably do both in the cut no matter what. Sometimes in curly hair, I'll diffuse it, then cut it. But most likely in a generic form, I would say I cut it wet and then I do detail it dry for sure every time. Let's see. Lori, are you able to demonstrate color or cutting on African American or ethnic hair? Thank you. Yes. So we did that a couple shows ago. And I would like to do more of it. I got to order more heads in so that I can work with some of that extra curly fabric so that I can really just get to work with it. I'm not as familiar with it, so I don't claim to be an expert, but I love cutting like super curly hair. I love the shape that forms out of it. Like, it's my favorite thing, to be honest. Clientele-wise, I don't get that. My clients don't have that super curly hair, but I love curly hair. It's my favorite. Let's see. can you do a I'm going to go back to that one. Can you do a keratin treatment? That's a good request. I'd like to. I don't do them here in the salon though. So that makes it a little tough. I'm not an expert on that, to be completely honest. I like filling my book with colors and cuts and not so much keratin treatments, just a personal thing for me. How do you do short layers on fine thin hair that looks fuller? That's a good one, and I have a video for that. I wonder if I have showed that one yet. That's a good one. So I'll actually explain it to you because I can explain it without really even showing the video, and we'll use Baldy here. So what I do when my clients have fine hair and I want it to feel full and look full, one of the biggest things that I'll do is I don't cut the hair just below parietal ridge, this area. I section off the entire bottom of the haircut, and then any layering I'm gonna do, I do on this top part because I keep all the density from this point down. I keep it all, I cut it. I may lightly slide cut into that base if I want to add a little bit of movement. It looks too thick or something like that. And then I'll build all my layers from parietal ridge up. So I really try hard not to cut into that baseline because that's the structure. That's what kind of keeps it feeling full on fine hair. Let's see. Gene, thanks for moderating. You're doing a wonderful job. Do you always tone? Good one. Do you always tone after highlighting? Yes. The music ended like so weird. Yes, bam, done. I do. I always tone after highlighting because I feel like it's not done. Like I said, the lift is the vehicle. It takes you to the place, but then you got to do something when you get there. So the toning, lightener doesn't have natural toning in it. So when we lift it, it's kind of just leaving us there. It's like dropping us in the middle of nowhere. So we got to have something happen. So I use a toner every single time. And a lot of times I'll use multiple different tones to finish my result, if that makes sense. Face framing techniques, for sure. Tons of those on our website. And if you go to FSE Now on the App Store, you can download our app and you can absolutely look through hundreds of videos, and a lot of them have face frames on them. They're free, 100% free. Just go to FSE Now. Take this away. FSE Now on the App Store. So type in FSE Now, and it'll take you to download it on Android and Apple. That is our app. This show is sponsored by our app. It's not really sponsored. I pay myself for this show through the app. Check out the app, actually. I'm going to play the video for the app, and then we'll come back and I'll do more Q&A, more questions. But go download the FSE Now app so you can check it out. There it is. So what do you guys think of that? FSE Now app. My wife and I, we spent 11 months straight. It's longer than that now because it's been out for a month now. Over 3,000 stylists on the app already. You can share your work in the community. It's awesome. Everybody's in there liking each other's work. It's really cool. And then all of that, all of your work, your profile, everything. Like, let me show you guys somebody's profile real quick. When I open up the app. So here it is. Oh, current version is the old version. The new version is out. Let me update. If you guys have the app, go update it, because now we have replying to a comment on there. So that wasn't available before. Now if somebody comments on your stuff, you can reply back to that stylist and they'll get a notification so that we can start our conversation. Here's what I want you guys to do, actually. Some of the OGs in the chat, some of you guys that have been with the show for a while and kind of are helping me guide this thing along a little bit, I want you guys to go into the community, and I want to start conversations happening in this. So here's actually Jessica. Here we go. She's still in the chat here. Let's open her profile. So when you look at a stylist profile, it has all of their information, where they work, their, contact information to book an appointment, all that stuff, little bio about themselves, and then all of their work shows up in there. So then there's also a community page where you can post your work and everybody can see it. Jessica went ham today. You got Emma posting. So I see all of your guys' work. You can like it, you can comment on it, and now you can reply to the stylist that write you, and you guys can start that conversation. Now, the OGs in the chat, this is what I want you guys to do today. You can also, when you hit the plus button on the app, you can just type in, you don't have to post a picture, and that doesn't go on your profile. It just shows up in the chat as a big text. So I want you guys to start conversations with each other. I'd like it to grow as an education community within the community on the app. So ask a question and let's get involved and let's write each other back and forth and really build almost like a forum within the app so that people are learning together and not just sharing pictures, but also sharing conversation and just, having a good time that way. I think that that'll really help grow the app and just make it even better. And it'll get people coming back to the app more. So super cool. Then also on the app is obviously like yesterday's show, today's show. If you guys want to watch anything, also the latest videos, face frames, haircuts, shags, all that stuff that you guys are asking for. In this show, interviews, everything, videos that we make go on the app as well. So it's a super cool tool for you guys to learn, and it's 100% free. So no excuses. Go download it. All right, Gladys. Gladys. How do you weave? So that's a question that if you don't know how to, and maybe you're just starting out in hair, maybe you're just in hair school, maybe you're not in hair school and you're asking this question, but weaving is probably the most basic thing that we learn in school. So you just have to practice it. There's no way you just weave through it and then you split it and then you slide a foil in. And the only way you get good at that is just doing it over and over again. All right. Let's see, Sherry, what do we got here? Holy smokes, what a question. Took up my whole face. Oh, just kidding. You help me understand sectioning. Can you help me understand why you part a certain way to cut? I understand horizontal builds a horizontal weight line, vertical layers with no visible. Wait, I didn't even have time to read it. It's coming back. All right. Is it equivalent to cutting on a 45? Also, you decided where to start cutting. All right. I think I can help you here, Sherry. All right, let me hide your question. All right. So, for cutting, right? Here's where I just want to take your question and kind of shift it a little bit to help everybody in the room here. Is vertical and horizontal don't have anything to do with weight. I mean, they do have things to do with weight, but one over the other doesn't create it because it's horizontal or because it's vertical. If that makes sense. So we'll grab Baldy again, right? So horizontal, if I've got a horizontal section just like this, and I'm holding it out here, the tendency that I want to do, the reason that people think that horizontal creates weight is because as soon as I do this, it's very hard for me to stay consistently out like this. And what I want to do is drop my hand because naturally I don't want to hold my hand up here. When I hold vertically, it comes straight out of the head like this, and I'm holding all of this in my hand, and I can't drop this piece of hair out of it. So horizontally, you're holding a fine line that you got to keep up and down. So you have to work your way all the way up the head just like this and stay consistent and create that line. This is the line that you're trying to create, whether it's horizontal or vertical, right? So as I pull everything out, just like this, I'm trying to follow that line. Each step up the ladder has got to be the same, coming straight out of the head. If I take this section vertically, I cut it all at once in the same ladder, just holding it straight in my hands. So that makes it easier to not drop my hand. So when people say that horizontally creates a weight line, it's because naturally we're holding the hair and we start to drop our hand a little bit and it gets heavier without us even wanting it to. So you stay consistent this way. Now the challenge is when you cut vertically, now you're only holding a sliver of the hair this way, and now your ladder is moving this way. So now you got to try to stay consistent as you're moving around across the back. It's a lot easier to stay consistent doing this because when I hold the hair out vertically, my elbow is down. When I hold it horizontally, my elbow is up, and naturally my elbow wants to drop down. So that's the biggest difference. So you kind of got to pick and choose, what do you want to control? So vertically, I choose to cut a lot of things because it's easier for me to control that weight. And weight is what most people have an issue with, not necessarily the shape. So it's picking and choosing your battle. The other thing was, how do you decide where to start cutting, front or back? And it's literally like, what do you want to focus on? A lot of the times, like if I want a certain look in the front, certain face frame, whatever, I'll start in the front and I'll cut that face frame first, and then I'll connect the rest of the haircut to it. Sometimes when you cut a bob, you want to cut the length first in the front and then connect it into the back so that you know exactly where you want to be in the front. But then a lot of times it doesn't really affect it too much, and you could just start in the back, layering it, and then work around the front. I think that's a personal preference. For me, I think the most important part of the haircut is in front of the face. So I like to start there and make sure I'm on the same page with the client, and then move my way to the back. All right. Hope that helped. Can we have a nicer outcome on balayage without teasing? That's a good question, but I think you can get a nice outcome without teasing no matter what. I think the reason people tease is because they want an even more diffused look. Like that's the only reason I would tease it, because balayage in itself gives you a pretty natural look to it. So I don't think you really necessarily need to tease it. Let's see. Tons of questions, guys. Great. Do you work with extensions? I don't. I've never been a big fan of extensions. I know some people are, and some people love wearing them. I don't like the maintenance of them and how people take care of them and all of that stuff. I just never wanted to get involved in that. I know there's plenty of money to be made doing it, and I'm very happy for the person that is making money doing it. I never wanted to make money doing that. Jess, haircuts for different face shapes. That's a good one, and I definitely need to right now. Tiffany, thank you for liking my post. I just got an alert on FSE now. Let me take a picture of this question, Jess, because I want to remember that. That's going to be an upcoming class for sure. I want to make a whole class on that. I love that your video is captioned for the deaf. I love it too. And Facebook does that. Like, I think I had to turn it on. I'm not sure, but Facebook does it. And it's so cool because it's live and they caption it. So good job, Facebook. You're the best. All right, let's see. Finally made it. That's right, Kathy. You made it. Good job. All right. I'm guessing you're talking about the ladder. All right, let's see. Do we have anything else here? Thank you, Christina and Matt. That's right. I love the app. Wow, I'm still in the app conversation. I'm way behind, guys. All right, let me catch up. Cute. Don't I get the sweatshirt from Minerva? Huh? So here's the thing. If you guys have ordered a Woke Up This Way t-shirt, sweatshirt, anything, actually, let me just share with you guys right here on the shop. We got some new stuff. So we've got some new combs in stock. These things are awesome. We got a new blue comb. We also, right here in apparel, have the Woke Up This Way hoodie right here. If you guys have ordered, I know a lot of you guys ordered it and you're the best, and I really appreciate that. if you ordered it, they're print to order and they come from California. So depending on where you're at, it can take like a week and a half or so to get it. So if you want one, place it now, order it now. There's also t-shirts as well. This one's sold out. All right. Well, this one's not. They're unisex shirts. They fit really nice and tight. Not tight, but like, they fit nice. So it's a fitted t-shirt, not like a baggy t-shirt. But those are available. Thank you guys. When you get them, if you could do me a favor and take a picture of it and tag me on Instagram at Free Salon Education so I can reshare your photo because I can't wait to see it. All right. Let's see. Looking for the cues. What do we got here? Jess. So, they're $40 in Australia. That's crazy. All right, Jess, we will, again, remember, send me your order, and we can figure it out. I actually want to do a test because I want to see how much it costs to ship something that distance. Because I was talking to Christina the other day and we were like, we got to figure it out, like how we can sell definitely like the combs and all of that stuff, but I don't know what the shipping would be. And if the shipping's $40 to send you combs, like you're going to be paying $40 anyways. So, we got to figure it out. All right. You can't purchase anything in Trinidad yet. But I think I'm going to open a global store that will allow certain things to be sold. Scissors can't be because we have a thing with Mizutani and they won't let us sell worldwide, but everything else we're allowed to. So it's kind of like holding us back a little bit. So we will figure out, maybe we'll do an FSE global store or something soon so that you guys can all start buying some stuff. All right. Do you have capes? We don't have capes right now. I'd like to do like Free Salon Education or some kind of capes sometime. But we got to figure out what's going on with the industry first because I don't even know what kind of capes we're going to need. So some people are worth spending $40 on. Very true. Very true. All right. Let's see. I think we're good for this show unless there's another request. Post that in the next couple minutes. I'm on the lookout for it. I did look into Amazon. Gene, thank you for that suggestion. I looked into Amazon and I'm still looking into it, and that might be a possibility, or even through eBay to be able to sell that way as well. Where do we go to tell Mizutani? Go to their Facebook. Go to Mizutani. It's got to be Mizutani Scissors _official. Is the worldwide brand, and then there's distributors all over. Go to their Facebook page or their Instagram page at Mizutani Official and send them a message if you want and say, let Free Salon Education sell to me globally. Let's do that and let's see what happens. They got to listen sometime. So Emily, great question, and we do have a student sign up. So when you sign up, you can sign up as a student, a stylist, or a stylist. So the student page allows you to do everything on there except your profile stays private so that it doesn't show to the customers on Stylist Locator. So what I want to show you guys actually real quick. I know this show's getting a little like off the rails a little bit, but it's fun and it's good to give you guys this information. If you go to, let's go to stylistlocator.com. So this is actually the website that, I'm going to move me up here. So this is the website that your profile from FSE Now, so like when you download the app, your profile goes onto this website. Featured, so Tessa's featured. We have some different stylists. There's DIY for those of you guys that aren't stylists and you're watching this. We have some DIY videos for different styles that you can do on yourself at home, not as a stylist. There'll be more content coming to that soon. We also have a blog on there. And then when you type in your location, so when I type in my location, now all of a sudden, all of these stylist profiles start to show up. Then when you click on a stylist, let's say, now I don't know if any of these stylists have put their work on here, but let's just say, so if she put her work here, it would start to show up with her work and all of that. And then as a customer, you can hit contact. You'll have to create a profile with your picture, everything about your hair, all of that. And then you can message Carmela here and send her a message and say, hey, I love your work and I'd love to get my hair done by you. So it's such a cool way, and this is what me and Christina have kind of always envisioned, is a way to connect our audience who are not stylists with actual stylists that watch our stuff. So it's super cool. Whoa, sweet, I can zoom in, didn't even know. So it's super cool, lots of different options on it, and it's growing every day. Like every day we're putting more thought into it, trying to figure it out and making that communication happen. Let's see, would it be beneficial to have current clients sign up on the Stylist Locator site to do reviews or anything? I would love that if you had that happen. I think it's totally beneficial to have reviews on your page for sure, because we're gonna rank how stylists show up. So there's one way, like if you want to show up first, then you pay $4.99 a month. I think $4.99. And that's just, I don't even know. That's like just such a basic thing. But I wanted to have something on there that if you guys wanted to show up first in your town, that you just pay the $4.99 a month. And that guarantees it. Then the next thing will be, by best review, will be how people will show up on the site. So if somebody searches your area, if they have a 5-star review and the other person has a 4.7, then 5 star is going to show up first. And that's just the way that it'll happen. And then we're going to have different ways to certify and different things and all of that coming up as well. So you can get different check marks near your name and that kind of stuff. So some cool stuff coming in the future. All right. I have a client with bright red hair and we've decided to start doing blonde highlights. Every time I rinse her, red stains the bright blonde. I try and rinse them separate with cold, no luck. Any tips? So this is great. Everybody has a different opinion on this. I think that this would be a good one to everybody in the chat talk about the ways that you like to rinse red hair when you have highlights to not stain. Start posting that in the chat to let, I think it's Lexi. Yeah, Lexi know. But Lexi, for me, one thing that I like to do is I always foil. So did she say she does foil? No. So, if I'm going to do that kind of color technique, I always do foil. And then what I'll do is I'll try to rinse, I'll pack the foils, nice and tight, especially at the end when I go to the bowl. And then I'll rinse all the red first. So a lot of people rinse the highlight first. I rinse the red first. Get that as clear as possible so the water's running clear, then take the highlight foils out. If it's balayage, you're going to have a little bit of a harder time doing that, but I would think if you're doing red with blonde, you're probably foiling. So that would be my recommendation, is try to rinse the color first, then, or even rinse the highlights and put conditioner over them first, then rinse the rest of the color. That could help as well, help seal it up a little bit. The reason that you get so much fading and it grabs on so quick is red's like the easiest color to get in the hair and the hardest color to get out, right? So it's so porous after you highlight it that it's like the cuticle is just like waving in the air and like grabbing on to any pigment that it can or anything, right? So just if you can put conditioner on it or spray some kind of spray conditioner on it as you're rinsing it out to seal it a little bit before you rinse the red, it should help a bit. All right. So Tara, I don't have the app installed. So Tara, once you install the app, you will be notified anytime somebody messages you. That's the most important part about it. So download the app. Anytime somebody does anything to you on your profile, if they send you a message, because the messenger feature is pretty cool. Up here in the corner, you tap the messenger feature. Let me do this. There we go. So you type the messenger feature, and then any messages that you get, and then you can kind of scroll through all your people that you're talking to. So you can tap on them, and then it shows your messages that you have with them. So as clients, start messaging you, you'll get a notification. Also, stylists can now message each other as well. So if you wanted to start a conversation, like these are all stylists, you can send a message, say hi. When you see somebody in the community, you can push on their profile, send them a message through the app, and you guys can have a conversation, which is pretty cool. And you'll get a notification if that happens as well. So it makes me smile because we went through a lot, me and Christina, making this thing. And then, you know, when we launched it, it was like, oh, we're missing all these little features. And now we're a month in. We've added so many features to it in the last month. So make sure you have the updated version of the app, and you'll get all of these cool features that are in it. And also, when I plan a class or whatever, you also get an alert through the app for that too. Cool. Laura's saying I'd probably ask someone to hold the foils. That's a good call. Grab a buddy on that. If you don't have a buddy, even if you have to, the client could kind of hold a couple of the foils as you're going. That phone is weird looking, or it's the camera. It's the camera. It's a wide, so the lens is literally like right in front of my face, because it's over my computer. So it expands out. So it's a wide angle. All right. Jessica, let's see here. All right, a couple more questions and we're done. This was a massive Q&A and a lot of just information, guys. I know it wasn't a lot of hair stuff at the end of this, but, you know, we're a community and we're talking about stuff, so we're doing it. So it is shopfse.com. So if you go to this website, let me make that go away. Everything, the tools, all this stuff is Shop FSE. You can get the carving comb. You can get these combs. Carving comb is, oh geez, hitting stuff. Is this guy here. Scissors, my scissors on there. Here, tons of stuff. Ooh, different closing music. Attention to detail. Snowden, another successful class down. Awesome. I'm glad you guys like it. Tomorrow, I got some plans. Obviously, we're going to do some men's cutting. I think it would be big. I think you guys will really like that. I want to have some like positive vibe tunes for on the way out. So we're going to do this. And then make sure, a couple things, guys, before we go tonight. Obviously, download the app, get started making your profile. Love seeing it. Like Johnny Livingston just added a ton of pictures. Tessa's always adding stuff. Emma is always adding stuff. So tons and tons of cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the class today. I really enjoyed my time with you guys. I always enjoy my time with you guys. And share the show if you can. Share it away. And let's keep growing this thing. You guys did a great job today. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. The theme song, love it. Theme song is always going to be the closing song. So what do we say at the end of the show before we go? It's going to be a great day. All right. Oh, that's not the theme song. That's so funny. That didn't work out. Here we go. It's going to be a great day, guys. Enjoy your day. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'll see you on the show.
I woke up this way. It's going to be a great day. Chop it, clip it, spray it, flip it. Let me show you the way. It's going to be a great day. Chop it, clip it, spray it, flip it. I woke up this way. It's gonna be a great day. Chop it, clip it, spray it, flip it.